Hey everyone, this is Jack again with Toy Dojo. Today we're going to be taking a look at something that I have been wanting to look at since it first was announced, and that is Dx9's Gewalt. Their version of a masterpiece triple changer Blitzwing. I almost forgot his name there for a second. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at him. We're not going to go into detail, we're not going to do any transformation or anything like that. If you're going to want to see a more detailed transformation on this guy, I'm going to have a link in the description below to Paid for Life's videos, to his YouTube page, and he'll go over that as well. Also, we're going to have a link in the description on where you can pre-order this item from. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at him. So first, you see he's a big mamma jamma. It's big and nice. Before we get into any kind of articulation, I'm just going to go ahead and start with some size comparisons, just so you can see how big he actually is. If you own the Dx9 Chigger, he's taller than Chigger, and Chigger's a big bot. So let's go ahead and bring in Masterpiece Hot Rod. So you can see how big he is to Hot Rod. Bring in Masterpiece Sideswipe. You can see how big he is next to them. And then pulling them out of the way, bring in the MP10 mold that I currently have with me, just to show you how big he is next to an MP10 mold. And I feel like that's a good size for him. He was always big in the cartoon, and he's probably, I don't know how much bigger than he is from the MP10 mold, but he is massive. You can tell his broad shoulders. He's just a big bot. He's got big legs. Overall, all nice. So with that, he comes with, and this is a pre-production sample, or a test shot, if you will. So we don't have everything that came with it. What he came with was his sword, and it's a nice clear plastic sword. Looks like the one out of the cartoon, and it's got a nice chrome purple handle, which I really like a lot, as one of his weapons. He also has his turret on the back that plugs into his back right here, and you can take that off, and that just connects by this square peg hole onto that square peg that's right there. And you can actually use this as an extra gun for him. All you do here is just take this, pull this out, just like so, fold it down this way, and you pull out his handle, which is right there. And that handle essentially pops this piece up like that. And so now he's got, that turret can turn into a handgun. And that fits in, just like the regular masterpieces do, it fits right into his hand with the slots that they got on their hands. Just do that real quick. It fits. I'm just being finicky with it for some reason. Let me do this. Okay. It took a minute there, but I got it. And he holds it just like if it was his handgun. From my understanding, he's supposed to be coming with a purple handgun as well. That's going to be with it, and but he can hold this just fine. So let's take that off, and again, we'll just put that back into that and flip it up, and just put it back onto his back where it belongs. So looking at him, he said he's a big bot. If you own any of Dx9 stuff, you'll know that their plastic quality is nice. It's real thick plastic. It's durable. I really like the plastic quality on this. He's got some die-cast metal into him as well, so it makes him a really hefty bot. Looking at articulation, we'll just start with the head. The head can spin around. It cannot look up or down, just because of the transformation joint that's inside what it's on. So it's not really going to give you an up and down look, but it does have a full 360-degree turn if you want on that. The shoulders here, these pieces here are independent of the shoulders, not stuck on there. So they actually can go up by themselves like that. So essentially, if you want to, you could sit these right up there and make them look like a regular seeker jet. But of course, that's just the way he is. His are always supposed to be sitting on his back. Or, I'm sorry, on top of his shoulders, just like that. So let's get him back. Just like that. The arms themselves, they're on a ratchet, and you can move these out of the way just to get this to spin around. But you can hear that they're on a good ratchet right there. They go all the way around, they go up, down. He's got a upper bicep swivel. His arm does bend right here at the elbow, and it's a double jointed bend. And that's a lot of that's for transformation, but he's got double bend at the elbow there. The wrist itself is on a ball joint. So he's got a ball jointed wrist. These fingers are all connected, just like the way the Seeker Jets, the MP Seeker Jets are. These fingers are all connected as one, but they're a double hinge there and at the base. And this one's independent of all the other ones with a double hinge. Same as the thumb. The thumb is a double hinge as well. He does have a waist swivel that you can get him to move left and right on. These here are his, like, if you will, side skirts. These make up his nose cone in jet mode. So you can get those, and essentially if you wanted to, you can get them and move them up and put them underneath here so that way they're facing up and not facing down. Then you got the front hip skirts here that'll move up, just like so. That way you can get a forward motion on the leg there. You can get backwards on the leg there as well. It's got strong ratchets going outwards. Move this out of the way. Like that. And as far as the knee bend, he has no upper thigh swivel or anything like that, but it does swivel there at the hip area. As far as the knee bend, he can bend his knee. It's like a double jointed knee bend. So you can get it that much there, or if you really wanted to get feisty with it, I'll just kind of show you what I twist it out. You can actually get that to bend all the way out. Let me show you here. Just fold that forward, like so. And just show you that he can actually bend his leg all the way back. So you can get some really good leg poses there. And those are nice ratchets as well. The feet themselves are independent. The toe is independent of the heel. So the toe can go up or go down. The heel itself too, it can ratchet, or I'm sorry, it can rotate this way to get yourself like a little heel bend as well. And let's see. I think just overall he looks nice in his robot mode. I like it. I think they did really well with the head sculpt. I think they have a nice head sculpt there, indicative of the G1 cartoon. He's got some light piping in the back that'll shine through and make his eyes that nice red color. So they did it well on that as well. His back is nice as well. He's got the cannon here. He's got his treads here, and his wings that transform into his back. So I think overall they did an excellent job with this figure as far as robot mode goes. So now, like I said, we're not going to transform him on camera, but I'm going to take a small break. When I come back, we'll have him in his tank mode, and we'll go over his articulation in his tank mode. Okay, now we're back, and here he is in his tank mode. As you can see, he's a big old tank. Just look at the articulation before you get into just how massive he is. The tank turrets here can go in if you want to make a shorter turret or get popped out. It does rotate to the right and the left about that much. You're not going to get a full 360 turn on it, but you get enough to where you can sit there and fire it if you want to. This can go down, it can go up, again not as far down, and up it goes about that far, so it's still a good amount of posability on that. He doesn't roll very well, maybe it's because it's on this slick surface here, but the tank treads won't move by themselves. They just don't. What they do have are these wheels here on the bottom, these 4 small wheels that will roll. And speaking of the bottom, if you look at the bottom, you can see a lot of the robot parts. You can see his face right there. But you know what? Nobody's gonna be looking at it this way if you're having him in his tank mode. Up in the front here, it's a little hollow up here in the front. I feel like maybe they could have done a little bit and just made an extra panel that could have just kind of hid this a little bit. But again, you're looking at it from that angle, you can't really see it. The back as well has a little bit of hollow parts here, but again, you are making this into a triple changer, and he's got his wings got to fold up. So I think they did an excellent job at hiding all the parts to make them look the way they should. So let's see what else we got here. I think that's it as far as the articulation goes. I mean, he's a tank. You know, he's just going to shoot you, and that's it. Now to show his size comparison, I'm going to bring in G2 Sideswipe and put him next to him so you can see just how massive this guy is. He's a big chunk of goodness here. And then we're going to swing in MP10 and put him next to him as well, just to show you. Now, back to back on MP10 and him, Gewalt's probably just a hair bigger from the front here to the front grill of MP10. MP10 obviously is taller, but this guy's just massive. I mean, he is a big, beautiful bot. I mean, he's chunky, and I mean that in a good way. If we look at how his girth on this one compared to what MP10 is, I mean, you can see that he's massive. He's a big bot, and I like that. I dig it. He's heavy, he's sturdy, the plastic is strong. Overall, I think I like this mode. One thing I'm going to show you here, you're probably looking at these, but this here you can flip it over, push down on it, like, there you go. And of course I had to pick the stronger one of the two to do on camera. If you flip that over, get that. There you go. Push it at the bottom, makes it easier. There you go. And you just flip that over so that way he has some headlights here. Robot mode, that was just purple. You can leave it purple if you want, but these kind of give him like a headlight, if you will. So, I like the tank mode. It's not my favorite of the three modes. My favorite is the plane mode. And we're going to go ahead and just take a quick break here and transform into his plane mode, and then come back and see what his plane mode is all about. Okay, and we're back. Now here he is in his massive plane mode, and this is my favorite of the three modes, and I usually love robot mode. His robot mode is nice, don't get me wrong, I do like his robot mode, but I really dig the jet mode. I think it's awesome. It hides everything very well. Look just how massive this guy is. Stand him up, and we're going to get MP10 here and put him next to him, and just to show just how massively tall he is. I don't have any seekers with me, any MP seekers, but I want to say he's bigger than an MP seeker. If not, he's right at their sides, but I want to say he looks bigger than an MP seeker. But he's just big. I mean, he's so big to the point to where you can take MP10, stick him on top, and then stick Sideswipe on top too. And essentially he could just fly off with all of them. So, big, nice, big jet. Just look at it, they hide everything very well. I couldn't look at this right up front here and say, oh, this was a tank before. Even the tank treads, which are right here, are hidden well enough that you can look at them and say, oh, well, those are like the thrust intakes, or maybe even like missile launchers or something like that, to the effect of that. So even on the bottom, I mean, you can see here, but you wouldn't know they were treads unless you really were like, oh yeah, those are tank treads, unless you knew what they were. The only thing you see is robot head, but still not bad. He's got landing gear that folds in and out like this. This one folds up like that. So you just pull that out. He's got landing gear. Just like that. His legs are hidden very well behind this panel right here. And that just pegs into there. I left it open on purpose so we can do that, but that pegs into there. And it hides everything very well if you look at that. Like I said, you really can't tell by looking at the underneath side that this was a tank. So, and here you can leave these flipped over, like I said, for the lights on the tank mode. You can leave them open for that to show that they're like lights on an airplane. All around nice. The canopy is a nice blue plastic. That's a clear plastic blue. Really nice. The wings themselves are nice. The back tail fins are nice. Thrusters in the back are really nice. Overall, a nice figure. My final thoughts: if you like the Dx9 Chigger or anything Dx9 has done, you're gonna love this guy. I do like Chigger. I have Chigger, and I like the stuff that Dx9 puts out. And this one is not an exception. They do an exceptionally good job on this figure. So, again, if you feel like this is something you're gonna want to get, you can go ahead and pre-order it through Toy Dojo. There will be a link in the description below to Toy Dojo where you can pre-order this figure. And if you like the videos, please comment, subscribe, and let us know what you think. Thanks. Have a great day.